Oh, lovely. Okay. Well, hopefully that didn't just kill everyone's ears. Hello, everybody. Welcome. My audio controller was just like completely off. I'm really sorry. I hope that did not just like destroy everyone's ears. Where's the stash? I know, Sabus. It was either that or sleep on the couch. So, you guys can obviously see what won. Hello, everybody. Welcome. How is everybody doing tonight? Let's see, we got Raz up in here. One Drunk Man, Harutya, Havu. We got Zach up in here. Roar, good to see everybody. Savis, Paco Taco, hello everybody. How is everybody doing? Justin up in here, let's go. Alright, chat. I'm gonna go ahead and call Bizorami. I need to edit some audio levels here first before I do. I'm always so bad at this. Alright, let's switch that back over here. Let's try that right there. And then let's bring that up. And then it needs to go even lower. Music still looks like it's going to be too loud. Okay, let's see if this is good. It's a good part of the song to be able to balance everything. Okay, let's try this. Okay. Volume mixer. I'm going to turn down this even more. Let's go down to another 75%. There we go. Bizo raw me. Hey brother. Good to see you. Hold up. And it might be good to hear you soon here too. Let's see. Hey brother.
Hello.
What's up, Bizo?
Nothing much, just chilling. How you doing?
Dude, I am good. Here, give me a couple of test 1-2s real quick. Let's just make sure I got your levels right.
Alright, 1, 2, 3. Test 1, 2, 3. You're good?
Okay. Yeah, sounds pretty
Cool.
good to me. Chat, everything groovy up in here? I think we're good. Brother, it has been too long.
It has been a while.
I think 2019? 2018?
Last time we talked in person, or like face, or I mean not face to face, but when was the DC meetup? Was that 2018?
Yeah.
At where was it?
Because I saw the wrist breaker. The wrist breaker was still new.
That was 2020. I think 2019 was my first DC meetup. I think 2019, yeah. And that was when we talked.
Are you sure? It was when the Nationals won the World Series, because the World Series was happening the same weekend.
I don't know sports ball, man. So
I don't either.
No, I think it's
Hold on. I almost
early
googled sports ball. Washington Nationals World Series was 2019. You're absolutely right. Yep.
I know. It felt like 5 years ago. I know.
Doesn't it? I mean, it feels like a million years ago. So I'm feeling old, man. I'm feeling like it's just been so long. Okay, so it hasn't been that long though. Good.
Right.
So yeah, man.
Time is blending for me now.
Isn't it?
Man.
You've made quite a lot of keyboards since then.
Yeah, 2020 has actually been a pretty good year for Bizarromi products.
That's
not a good year, like
not
overall,
good over. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you.
Other cool things.
Yep. I'm right there with you. I know exactly what you're saying. So for people in chat who don't know you already, first of all, how dare you, chat? But secondly, why don't you introduce yourself real quick, Bizarromi? Tell everybody who you are.
Hey guys, I'm Bizarromi. That's my username that I use pretty much everywhere at this point. Joined the hobby. When did I join? I want to say like late. My first keyboard I bought was late 2016. I want to say, and that was like some random, not a random board. It was the Cooler Master Keys Pro S or something like that. Yeah, I still have it. It's in box. I love that board. Browns. Oh, browns are Friends are nice.
Hey,
But
break them in, and they're just as good as anything else these days.
yeah, right. Yeah. Just put some lube on them. Ooh, nice nice wear and tear from all the years using it. But
Yeah.
2017. I think I was mostly on the Reddit, the RMK Reddit, just like lurking around.
Yeah.
My Reddit username isn't Bizaromi because I made it before I picked Bizaromi, but 2017 I was mostly on Reddit, and then 2018 around that I want to say I was on no, maybe 2017 was when I got my first board, late 2017, and then 2018 was when I browsed Reddit, and then finally got into the NovelKey server, the Discord server. Yep. I want to say that was like late 2018. Okay. And then since then, I've been kind of straying far away from RMK.
Yep.
More into like the custom scene in my key server, and just from there going into like 50 other different keyboard servers.
Oh, I know. I mean, RMK is a quick siphon away for us. I feel like. Yeah. So we actually met though in 2018, Bizo. We were over at the DC meetup when we held it over at Pivotal. You remember?
Was Pivotal the 2018 one?
Yep. 2018 was Pivotal in the fall, and in that office building that they didn't turn the AC on, and so we were all sweating our asses off.
It was hot.
Remember that? Yeah.
I'm
it
sure.
It was like DC. It was like DC at the end of August, so it was still very hot. And they did not notify building security that there was an event over the weekend, and so we ended up not having any HVAC system on. And of course, there's no windows in this corporate office building. Yeah, it was hot.
Right.
And I remember what was it? It was the what was that keyboard with the meme on the back? It was the SCOG that they had redone.
Oh yeah,
what was that?
That was actually my first custom board actually. Just random. Yeah, admittingly, it's a SCOG. It was a SCOG clone.
Yeah.
My first custom board. I couldn't, for $150, like it had like the meme on the back. It was like, is this a butterfly meme? But it was like something like, is this a percent? But
what is a percent or something like that? Yeah.
I still have the board, but yeah, that was my actual like first real custom metal board. Got it for a good price, and yeah, I mean, I just thought it would be funny to bring.
Got you into it too. Yeah, that was such a funny one to see. Yeah. What was that? It had a name to it too. It wasn't the 420.
The engraving on front said 420CL.
That's what it was. It was the 420CL. Yep. I remember that. Those are gotta be stock on those has got to be going up these days.
I don't know. I remember I was like into. I don't even know where it was, like Taobao or something. But I don't even know if they're still like if that seller's still around.
Sure. That's so funny. So you're designing keyboards now. Here, let me. I'm gonna grab my mat here real quick. Why don't you talk real quick for just a second about your designs, Bizo, and what we're working with here today. I'm switching it over to the keyboard screen, and I'm gonna grab my mat so I can start working here.
Yeah, sure.
So I can work and talk.
Yeah, so keyboard design, I think around early 2019. I was maybe late 2018 was when I kind of really first started, but yeah, I think it was just because I wanted a layout specifically that really wasn't available. It didn't exist. And some of you might know the layout. It's the function row list layout. So that was the first that's kind of what kickstarted everything for me.
The design part of it.
Not the design. Yeah, I guess design part of things, but I just wanted like that layout, right? And no one was making it, so I was just like, F it, I'll just make it myself.
Right.
So just over like the couple months, I just designed something, got a prototype. That was around like April or May. I got that first prototype. So it was just a couple months of me just digging around in Fusion, just making terrible designs, and then starting over from scratch, and then just since then, just kind of making weirder stuff from there.
It's so funny though. I mean, okay, so chat, for those of you whom haven't seen Bizarami's designs, we've got the little Z, which we're working on here tonight, which is a design you worked on, Bizo, with Zach Adams, who's also in chat. This was kind of like Zach's crazy experiment where he wanted to make the world's heaviest standard 60%, which here it is, chat. If you haven't seen me build this yet, this is the little Z right here. This is a full PVD steel keyboard. Its only engrave is this tiny little Z right here. And yeah, it is just a honkin' piece of black steel. With a 5mm plate, no less. So an unusual board. Look at this plate. Look how thick that is.
It's definitely an experiment, I'd say that.
I mean, it's absurd. And then, okay, so there was the Starman. There was the wrist breaker.
Yeah.
There was let
me see. I actually made a list.
The K is mainstream. Of course, everyone knows about the K, but but man, some of the wilder designs, those are really some things that, I think people need to know more about.
Yeah, because I don't want to I don't just want to make if I'm gonna make like a layout, if I'm gonna make a 60%, there's a million 60% out there. If I'm gonna make one, I'm gonna make it weird, just something a little different, maybe sometimes a lot different, like Starman.
Starman
that was probably
is so good.
That was probably one of the funnest designs to make, just because it's just so weird and just the uncertainty if it'll even work at all. And turns out it works great.
So I remember seeing that the first time, and I was like, oh, that's wild. And is that a knob? And then I'm like, oh no, I saw I'm like watching Instagram stories on you designing it, and I'm like, oh no, that's not a knob. That's not in the sense of it controlling actually something on your computer, but it controls the height adjustment of the board, which is just absurd. And it was so fun to see that. And then you're like, and I remember watching the YouTube video on K Thrizzy's channel where you had gone in off the deep end on all of these different products for figuring out like what to put in there, and it made this like tactile click as you're turning it. Oh, like so good. That's the chef's kiss for sure. The mwah.
Right. Yeah, a lot of work was put into Starman. Definitely a fun little design. I don't know if I'd run it again, but it was nice. While I was, Starman was like the beginning of the year, but it was nice while the hype lasted, just the thrill of getting a weird, super crazy board. But yeah.
So, when you run these types of things, are you running them more often than not in a private sale?
Yeah, and that's not. I do run private sales, but that's not meant to be maybe not malicious isn't the word, or like not to be like exclusive or anything, but that's just because I only have the capacity as one person, and I have a full-time job too, so it's like I can't do like a 50 unit group buy, unfortunately.
Right. Right. I mean, is that it entirely, or do you feel like to some extent this is so crazy and so out there, who's going to want to buy this?
Exactly. Yeah, that too. It's just like,
do you? Because people buy everything.
Yeah. Nowadays, but like when, like earlier this year, it's like when I was designing like Wristbreaker or Starman, I'm like, who the hell is gonna buy a 14-degree board? Who's gonna buy a knob board? But nowadays, like
everything.
Everyone's making something and everyone's buying something, so it's
everyone
like
wants to buy everything. Yeah.
So now it's like actually I'm less motivated to sell that. It's like I don't know. It's just because like I feel like a lot of people would just buy it just because like maybe to like flip it maybe, or
right.
Not because it's weird, but because it has like I don't know, just like hype or something.
I see. I get what you're saying. And real quick, I just want to say, Manoli and the rest of your stream, welcome. We just got rated by Manoli Visuals with a rate of 21 here, a Cavs rate apparently. Let's go. Hello, everybody. Welcome. You're tuning in here to another keyboard build. We're working on the Little Z tonight. It's a keyboard that was designed with Zach Adams and Bizo Rami. I've got Bizo on the line. On the line.
Hello.
It sounds like a podcast. I've got Bizo on the line. First time caller, long time listener. So welcome everybody. Hello. So yeah, we're just talking Starman and the buy format for your boards, Bizo. Was K the first public group buy that you read?
No, KFE. Well, so I guess I can share the story.
KFE was pseudo private.
There was 1.5 public runs or something. I don't know, but
okay.
I guess I can go into details of like my relationship with Mono K. So my public runs like are through vendors, obviously, because I can't do a 300 unit run myself. So
yeah.
Mono Key just reached out to me. They were like, "Hey, I want to commission this specific design." I was like, "Okay," and like we were friends before.
And that's Beaming Robot, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's a big. I mean, for those of you who don't know, Beaming Robot is a big member of the hobby. He's been around since the early Geek Hack days. He's been around for a long time. So yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, no problem. Yeah, he's definitely like an OG for sure, in my opinion at least. I'm sure there are always going to be people older than him, but to me, he's been around for quite some time. And yeah, so we've been friends. We talk in Discord and stuff. And then he was like, "Hey, I like your stuff. Can you want to work together for a specific design?" I'm like, "All right, yeah, sure."
Right.
I didn't think it'd blow up like this. I just thought I was like kind of designing for a friend. He'd run a couple, and then Monarchy kind of became a thing while we were talking, from my understanding. And then,
but it
then
started
like,
with
I'm gonna run
right?
this.
Yeah, KFE was where the relationship began between you guys, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. How did that run go? How was that received, in your opinion?
KFE was received. A lot of people liked it, surprisingly. I say surprisingly because there's a lot of things I was unsure of with that design, just because it was my first kind of like low angle board.
Mm-hmm.
It's still pretty tame in design, nothing crazy. Just because it's meant for for someone else to sell, not me selling it. So design is a little more tame,
right?
Compared to my other stuff. But yeah, it's I think I hope it was well received. I know there were some sound issues because I made like a weird spacebar cutout because I was trying to copy the Koreans and like
with the actual with the OTD.
I did the OTD do that? I forgot what board. I think it was a dolphin was what inspired me to make that spacebar cutout.
Oh, the spacebar.
I made it a little wider.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I was thinking with the curve on the side profile with the koala.
Oh yeah, the sides. Yeah, that's pretty much heavily inspired, if not almost to the T for koala. Yeah. But what was I saying? Yeah, I hope
with the spacebar cutout. Yeah.
The sound. I think that was the only issue from what I heard. Just a kind of weird, like loud spacebar. I think what people said.
Okay. Gotcha. People are remarking on my lack of mustache. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I can see. I'm reading chat also.
I'm sorry, chat. Yeah, the mustache is gone. I apologize, everybody. Yeah, we were talking about it for a minute here at the start. Yeah, either the mustache had to go or my happy household would have been down the drain. So, yeah, the mustache is gone. I told you the wife was going to shave it off in my sleep, chat, and so rather than risk that and buzzers going off near my head as I'm sleeping, I decided to just take care of it myself. So rip chat, or rip my mustache. We'll see it next time, maybe in another month or two. Okay, so so the KFE, definitely, I mean, unfortunately, I never had the opportunity to try that one, but as you mentioned, that was one of the more public group buys, as well as the KFE. Kind of being a little more, as you said, tame on the design elements. When are we gonna see your function rowless TKL? Is that gonna be a public group buy?
Yes, that will be actually. So that's gonna be
Okay.
my third public group buy after, what is it, K?
Okay. The round 2.
So that
Yep.
Yeah, after round 2, I guess my third design running publicly, or more publicly, I guess, outside of my hands.
Okay. Yep.
So that's actually going to be run by Keyboard Treehouse, which is an Australian vendor, and out of the kindness of their hearts, they offered to take up the offered to become a vendor for.
Nice.
The board is called Kick. It's a long name. It's called Kikuchi Monji, or K Monji for short.
Okay.
That design actually went through a couple of revisions, like 2
and
or 3.
What does that name mean? What's the origin behind that?
Oh, it's like, I think it's basically a name of like a sword. It's kind of nerdy sounding, but
nice. Okay.
It's actually from a video game, Golden Sun. It's like a Game Boy Advance game.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know. I just thought of it randomly, and I was like, I always loved that word in that game. So I was like, it's such a cool, long, hard to say word. So
nice.
I just wanted to name something after it. So
there we go.
So Keyboard Treehouse, an Australian vendor, is going to be running it. Right now,
I've heard of those guys. I feel like I've heard of them.
Yeah,
have they run something? Have they run something in the past, or is this going to be one of their first big group buys?
Yes. They've ran Do you know EXT65? They ran a couple boards actually.
Okay.
Well, there was a recent one too that recently came out.
And the TMO, they ran the TMO50, the green TMO50, Zach is
correct.
saying.
Yeah.
Okay, absolutely.
So,
yeah.
They definitely have experience under their belt.
Nice.
So yeah, it's pretty exciting. Constellation is their most recent board, I believe. If you've heard of them. And Praxis. Have you heard of those?
Yep. I've seen that one. Yep. Yeah, very cool. Very cool. Okay.
So I'm right after Constellation, or is it Praxis right now? But right after one of those boards, it's gonna be my board next.
Nice.
Right now, it's kind of been delayed for a little bit just because of COVID at first, and now I made another revision, so we're just waiting on prototypes again. So I'm excited to get it out though.
So I saw, was it the channel? Was it the channel with the LEDs? Is that what the latest change was? I saw you had been making some changes with your personal unit. I didn't know if that was something that. Are we going to be seeing the Builder Boy engrave over the TKL cluster?
Yes. So above the arrows, if that's what we're talking about, the engraving.
Yep.
So the lights are still going to be there for sure. But there was something I didn't expect on the PCB, so I didn't design around it. There's some like light bleed from the LED eyes. So the revision was pretty much just to reduce the light bleed. So the RGB lights are pretty much only going through the eyes, nowhere else. Can't be seen like from under the keys. Yeah. So little things like that. It's not like a major design, but it's just like or major redesign. I mean, it's just like a couple minor changes. So just still haven't got my prototype for that. But after that, we should be smooth sailing, and then just opening up the group buy. I don't think there are any confirmed number of units we're gonna do, but I believe it's around 30, if not more units.
Okay.
Which is still like a smaller run compared. It's definitely smaller compared to like mono-keys like KFE or like K runs.
Right.
But it's still gonna be public. Yeah, open for everyone.
Yeah. So like a raffle type entry. Well, maybe we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know yet. Actually, I don't know those details. I'm assuming it's gonna be. Actually, I don't want to put words in anyone's mouth. So
no leaks yet.
I don't know right now. I just say that.
Okay. Well, we'll patiently await the details there. Yeah, I've seen the Instagram story updates. How bright is that? Are those eyes? Are they?
Yeah. It's definitely funny, and it's cool because you can like control the brightness and like the colors through VIA. So it's actually kind of like really, really cool.
Nice. And so who did the PCB for that one? Was that a Heine PCB?
No, this is a Wilbur PCB. Also,
Ooh,
Wilbur,
okay.
out of the kindness of his heart, helped me out with the
Very
PCB
cool.
design.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I'm very grateful for that.
Nice. And now
Yeah.
you had worked with, if I'm remembering correctly, it was Heine PCBs with the K, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
so Heine, I believe Heine was in the process of making his H60 PCB, his 60% PCBs,
Yep.
and then I was like, hey, can you just add these like specific cutouts so that we can
Right.
use them for K, and then like it's a win-win for everyone, right? Because
Yeah. Yeah.
if
It's an easy
if
modification for Heine. Yeah.
exactly, so like we can buy more units. More units means less cost. And
Right.
if you've seen the H60, so it's like there's a lot of
Yeah.
cutouts on it. I think there's like the unicorn cutouts, there's the K cutouts, there's the
Right.
ogre cutouts too, I believe. So,
Yep. Yep.
but all that, like just one PCB supports at least three different boards. That's great. I'm all for like standardized stuff, and just easy replaceability of like PCBs and parts and stuff. So yeah, like I said, just win-win for everyone. So I'm thankful for Hani for just helping us out with that. It's really
It's that
came.
it's that customs family hookup.
Yeah, so it's a bond, the customs bond.
That's right. That's right. Yep. Everyone in customs looks out for each other,
Yeah.
or just trolls each other. One or the other.
Mostly the latter, but yeah.
Right. Right. So, well, let's talk K for a second. I had an opportunity to build one of those up just the other day, and it was a really fun build. Had me nervous for a hot second. I was tuning up
Oh, don't worry.
stabilizers.
I was nervous. I was nervous too that the whole group came goodbye.
So, and I'll tell you while I was nervous, and it didn't have anything to do with the group buy. I figured you guys were going to smash that thing out the park. The design from the get-go looked incredible, and I love the homage to the Key Colt number 2 style bottom and sides, and the interior design, adding that complexity with the channel for the gasket. What a cool choice. So, how did you come across that?
Probably by accident, I'll be honest with you, because K, if I were to just give a little background story, K is my first seamless, screwless design, right? So seamless meaning there's no like top and bottom half, there's no seam you can see outside when it's like on the desk. Screwless meaning there's no like screws on the bottom case. The screws are actually, like they're in the board, right? They're like right behind the
Hidden.
the keys. Yeah, they're hidden,
Yeah,
exactly.
hidden.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it was definitely one of my harder designs, probably my hardest design to this date.
It's complexity there. A lot of it. Yeah.
Yeah,
A lot of
it's
it.
definitely my most complex board, I want to say at this point.
Yep.
I've learned a lot. Definitely learned a lot from that. But yeah, it's like I said, coming up with just the seamless design is just probably by accident. Just like regarding the O-rings, is how the heck how I do it.
Right.
Is just like whatever I thought. But I've definitely had some help with other people who've done seamless designs before. Zondat is an honorable mention. He's helped me out a lot.
Okay.
Big credits for him.
Nice. Okay. Yeah.
Zondat, just a couple more other designers. Can't think of them off the top of my head, but I've definitely had a lot of help on it. But yeah, it's I don't know if it's like the best way to use a gasket. I'm sure other boards like what is it, the 356 Mini, the OG board, probably had a better O-ring gasket system. The Ogre, I think it has a little better gasket mounting system. But
it's definitely
just something
unique though. It's something I haven't seen ever. And yeah, I've seen the Mini. I've got the Ogre right here on top of me. But yeah, that channel design for and this is why I was nervous for a hot second, because I was actually building it up. The client had sent me screw-in stabilizers, and I was nervous for a second, saying, "Oh, this is a gasket design. How am I going to use a O-ring, this gummy worm O-ring mount system with screw-in?" And I saw the channel and I was like, you know what? I wonder if that's going to pull it away from the spacebar just enough so that I could use screw-in. Now, was that, and it did. I ended up being able to build the whole K with screw-in stabilizers, and it worked perfectly. It was a little bit tight
Really?
for the backspace, but yeah,
Okay.
the design worked. Now, I was wondering, was that the idea behind the channel for the gasket O-ring, or was it just maybe happenstance?
That was not intentional, I'd say that. Like for the spacebar specifically, the channel for the O-ring was mostly just so the O-ring has a place to sit and be compressed between the top and bottom. But yeah, like when I built it, for sure, when I built my personal unit, I was like, yeah, this space like you can use screw-in stabilizers for the spacebar specifically. I know you can't do that for some other boards,
Right.
because there's that wall there. But yeah, it worked out well that like you didn't need to use like snap-ins for the spacebar. I'm surprised. I'm happy to hear that you had screw-ins working for the backspace, because I didn't catch that in my design. I didn't even think about that. That's like when you don't like when you're designing, and don't have like, I'm not a render god, so it's like I can't accurately like see how an O-ring would fit in there, so yeah, I didn't even think
perfectly.
about. Yeah, if it works, I'm happy it works. I've been using clip-ins for my backspace, for the Ks I've built. But yeah, I'm glad to hear screw-ins work. That's good to know.
I was very happy. I was very happy with that, and I was instantly thinking, like, is that mad scientist Bezo? Did he intend that? That is incredible.
I don't intend anything in it in my design. To give too much credit.
It's all just happy accidents.
Exactly.
Nice. There we go. Well, to quote Bob Ross, it's definitely a fun design. So I enjoyed that build quite a lot. So as I did with this build, I know we just finished tuning up the stabilizers. I'm going to catch chat up real quick with what we're up to right now, if I may, Bezo. I will reintroduce you here again in just a second as well. So right now, chat, we're working on the little Z keyboard. If you hadn't seen me build this one a couple of weeks ago, this is the world's heaviest standard 60% keyboard. It is a full, right here, I'm pointing to it, it's kind of behind chat. It is a full PVD steel case with a 5mm steel plate seen right here. Here's the plate. Look at this thing. How absurd is that? With like channels built into it for the space bar, like, I mean, just tiny little nuanced things that you might not catch. And I'm joined here today by Bizarami, who is the designer who worked with Zach. Zach's idea, Bizarami's design. So, as I just said a second ago, Biza, why don't you introduce yourself again for those of us in chat who haven't met you yet again, and tell me a little bit too about maybe the nuanced difficulties of this board. Did you have to prototype this plate and kind of figure it out, or did it just kind of work? Did you have the idea for these channels already in your mind, everything like that, or how did it work?
Yeah. So, hey everyone, I'm Bizaromi again. If I were to plug my Instagram, it's Bizaromi_. If you want to see any of
Please. Yeah.
If you don't know who I am, you can go look there. I have some random photos up there, but
yep, Raz has linked it at chat as well. Yeah, but yeah, let's
cool.
link it again,
Thank you.
Raz. Yeah. But
yeah, I'm just a random dude who just designs keyboards for fun, and I designed this board that Max is building. So yeah, if I were to talk about this, I guess little Z, the design experience, it's a simple board. It wasn't like my easiest design. It wasn't my hardest design either. But yeah, you can see it's a 5mm plate, and with any plates that's over 1.5 or 1.6 millimeters thick, I believe Cherry spec is like maximum 1.6 millimeters for the plate. I believe. Don't quote me on that. But anything above that, you kind of run into issues where, one, the switches don't clip into the plate, and also if you don't make any additional cutouts on the plate, then those channels you're talking about, Max, those are required actually, because if you don't have those cutouts underneath the plate, it actually interferes with the stabs.
The wire can't move around.
Exactly, yeah. The wire, it hits that wire, hits the housing, you're just gonna have a bad day. And I think a lot of new designers, a lot of new designers, I think they had that misfortune of figuring out like, oh crap, like I have to make cutouts for this, especially acrylic boards, acrylic sailing boards. Yeah, you have to make big cutouts for those. But since we have the luxury of CNC, we can create those like fancy little cutouts underneath the plate, and then it should clear the stabs, perfectly. And my difficulty with there was, that was my first time designing a plate that's over like the standard plate thickness of 1.5 millimeters that I always use. So I kind of had to learn from scratch from the beginning, like how to account for the stabilizer, just make sure. I spent like hours and hours just making sure.
Sure. That the tolerances were going to be there.
Yeah, the tolerance is good, that it's not going to interfere with the stabilizers, that you can actually build it, Now, I did make... Go ahead.
When you do that, when you say you spend hours and hours, are you doing that in Fusion? Are you doing that in... And how is it that you test it before actually where rubber meets road and you're actually having to cut the plates and test it, on a prototype?
Right. So yeah, it's basically me just hours and hours staring at the monitor and hoping, I find an issue. And sometimes, I do. Like a lot of times, like I can just stare at a design, just orbit around the model in Fusion, just looking for things, just measuring certain things. Maybe I missed this, and like maybe 2 out of the 3 times I do find something like that can have improvement, or I'm like, oh crap, like this definitely won't work. So it's just like a lot of time just reviewing the design, just like looking at it one day and then sleeping on it and then opening it up again, just making sure making sure everything looks good the next day. It's just stuff like that. So that's what I mean by hours, and that's like the most time I spend designing, just like looking over the design and making sure it's good. That's probably like half the time for me of designing. Unfortunately, I didn't catch one thing on the plate I was going to mention.
Okay.
No, it's I think this was brought up, but the enter key, the stab cutouts, is actually the wrong way. It's supposed to be south facing wires, I believe. Yeah, but on the plate, it's on the plate. It's north facing, and I can tell you why it's like that actually. I think I use a plate template from the Jane plate. Jane plate file, and as you probably know, the Jane has a north facing enter for whatever reason. I think most boards have south facing, so I don't know, I just did not catch that. But fortunately, the way I did the cutouts on the stab, there's no issues there, so I'm happy. You can build it, there's no issue, but like ideally the cutout would be south facing, but if it works, it works.
We got lucky there to an extent. It sounds like
lucky,
okay.
I'm lucky that I did the specific stab cutouts I did. I made the stab cutouts a little longer, and that actually like saved my ass for
right. Well, it sounds like, that's kind of one of those things where I guess just over time you get the design experience and you're like, hey, let me give myself a little extra slack here just in case, and it turned out saving you in this instance.
For sure.
Cool, very cool. Hey, so let's talk real quick, and I'm gonna answer a couple of questions in chat that they've been asking me. Let's talk real quick too. So Bizo, I know, did you start designing in 2019, late 2019, or was that when did that start? And are you doing this? Are you doing this full time these days? Spoiler alert, I already know the answer to that question. But why don't you just for chat kind of fill us in on that, and I'll go over chat here. And then also chat, if you have any questions for Bizo as well, feel free to jump in and ask those. I'll try and pose any questions you guys might have that I haven't asked already. And I do want to be sensitive of your time, Bizo. So if you have to roll out here at any point, by all means, let us know when we've got to cut it short. But yeah. Tell me about where you are in the designs and the exposure with it and real life and where you see that going.
Yeah, sure. I think my first serious design was actually in late 2018. What was it? It was my first design was probably my FRL, my function realist board, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But there was another board that I actually got prototyped, kind of maybe before. I can't remember the timeline, but it was. I designed it. I started designing it in late 2018 and got it made sometime in like real early 2019. And it's actually a 75% with the left numpad. It's not really well known. We were hoping to do a group buy. It's me and another friend who's working on it, but that was one of my earlier designs too. Yeah, like I said, 75% with the left numpad. It's kind of cool.
Okay. Interesting.
So and then since then, since throughout all of 2019, I've just been messing around in Fusion, making random stuff.
Yeah.
And 2020 has been a great year because all the stuff I made in 2019, I'm actually like getting made, like they're coming to life in 2020. So,
which is it's really exciting. Cool. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's very. I'm very grateful, very thankful for like all the support I'm getting, and like the vendors like NovelKey, Beaming Robot, Keyboard Treehouse. I'm like I can't thank them enough for just running my boards. Seeing people have my boards is just it's fulfilling. Just they're
sure.
they're happy. It's just nice seeing that.
Yeah. I'm sure that's got to be that has to have a feeling of like. I've made it, right? As a designer, who would have thought, it never started out that way for you. You just designed things you wanted to have yourself, and now people are getting hyped up about your designs and want to grab them, have difficulty getting them, or regret missing out on them. Yeah, that's got to be cool.
Yeah, and like I still have the same philosophy of when I first started. Like maybe not so much with the commissions, like with NovelKey and stuff, but I'm still designing like stuff only that I want. Not just because it's popular. I know everyone and their mom they're designing 65% right now, with the blocker and all that. But I don't know. I just like if I were to make something, it's gonna be something that I want, something weird. To match me, to match how I am. So
keep something a little kooky.
It's all stuff that I want. It's all stuff that I want to see that I like. It's not for anyone else. It's mostly for me. So yeah, but just been designing throughout these last couple of years. It's crazy to think about. It's already been like over 2 years since 2 years of me just designing random stuff. But to answer your other question, I am not doing this full time actually, even though I'm probably doing this part-time and not like part-time money-wise, but part-time like hours I'm spending into like in designing stuff. I still have a full-time job, that's why I can't run these huge group buys myself. I can probably run like a 20 unit group buy at most, but I can't go all out like a vendor. And I don't, I'm not in it for
What are your
money.
thoughts on that? Yeah, do you think that might change?
Probably not. I know it sounds great, designing keyboards for a living, that like I get paid making keyboards, like doing something I love. But I never the thought crosses my mind, but it kind of comes and goes, like I'm pretty content right now with my current job. I don't think it'll change. I just I don't. The thing about going full-time keyboards is that you start to not love it so much the more time you probably spend into it, I want to say.
That's true. Yeah. Like, you kind of think about, the professional video game player, and would you really like video games if you had to play them 10 hours a day, every day?
Exactly. I don't want to be, I guess that goes back to the philosophy of kind of like doing what I want. Like, if I were to like go full-time, I would have to make something that like people
might not be excited about.
Yeah, and like something I would just have to pump designs, every I don't know, every couple times a year, maybe a lot more than that. I don't know, but no plans on becoming a vendor anytime soon. I kind of like what I'm going right now.
Yeah.
How I'm doing things right now, just kind of going at my own flow.
Very cool. Well, let me catch up real quick on chat here. And again, chat, feel free to at me and ask any questions. I want to answer a couple here real quick. Janky asked what this gray board is. So this is the ZechWorks Ogre, another KB Customs started designer, right, from Zekin. Then we've got Mr. Petrov in chat. Mr. Petrov asks, can Bezo please tell me which of the 800 Bezo Insta accounts is the real one?
You know, I don't even know myself at this point, I'll be honest. There are so many different aughts, Bezo aughts. For some reason, they're like, I think there's like over 15, maybe 20 at this point, different Bezo aughts. I counted one day and it's kind of insane. Yeah, I don't know. You just gotta have to find it yourself.
Whichever one I added in the story that I did right before the stream, that's the real one, Mr. Petrov.
Yeah, that's the real one. Yeah, it's funny because I don't know if you know Q Lavier on Instagram, the acrylic dude, but he was like, I think he DM'd me one time. He was like, I was following the wrong account for months or something. I was like, oh no.
Yeah, that's too funny. Yeah, you got a bunch out there. Whichever one he gets verified when he hits that 10K follower mark. That's gonna be the problem. You're gonna have like 20K people following you across like 10 different accounts.
Oh yeah, it's highly marketable, isn't it? No, it's like, and I swear, everyone, these aren't my aughts. If you guys are confused, these are people like. Probably customs people making aughts of like Bizaromi.
And then one grandfather out there who registered Instagram and his name is actually Bizo Rami, and
yeah, I think
and he's like, what in the world is going on with all these people adding me? Nice.
I did notice that one random old dude. Yeah.
All right, so Mr. Petrov does have a serious question though. Does Bezo generally use the same factory and menu without naming names for all his boards, or do you use different factories to test them out?
At the very start, I found my own place. That wasn't very long-lived because I didn't really like their quality. But yeah, ever since then, probably the first like couple months of me getting stuff made has been the same factory, correct, over the last majority of my time designing. Yep. Okay.
And then Artemy asks KFE SE CE R2 when?
KFE CE SE RE R2 Deluxe.
with paranoid eyes and more memes.
You know, don't let your memes be dreams. You know, anything is possible.
That's right. What is even a percent?
Exactly.
All right. Full-time VTuber, Meosis asks.
If I had the capacity and the charisma to become a VTuber and quit my job and become a
your full-time job has got to be suffering with the quality content you're putting out. I mean, you gotta just stop at a certain point. You're gonna hit a breaking point, or it's gonna be a turning point in the roads, Bezo. You're gonna have to decide.
We'll see, man. The future is very uncertain for me right now.
All right, so I think we're caught up in chat here. Yeah, what else should we talk about? Let's ask the important questions, Bezo.
Yeah.
Burgers or pizza?
Oh, burgers all the way.
Oh, there you go.
Ooh,
burgers
I
or tacos?
actually had a burger today. Probably burgers.
And then the follow-up is burgers or tacos. Yeah, what do you got?
I'm burgers over pizza and burgers over tacos. I don't eat tacos that often, I'd admit.
Okay. There we go.
I do love tacos, but I just eat burgers way more often.
I hear that. I agree.
Nice.
Pizza is just too many carbs, and unless you get like the crazy meat lovers, it feels like you're just eating a bunch of bread.
Yeah, that's true.
I hear that.
I do want me, now that you mentioned pizza though, I do want me a nice pizza from Domino's, the cheapo pizza. You know, sometimes the cheap pizzas, you know, it kind of tastes still tastes pretty good.
Domino's
Maybe, like,
stepped
rub on
their
it.
game up with that garlic crust.
Oh, I
Ooh.
love the crust. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a time where Domino's was just the cardboard pizza for a while, right? You remember that? And then back in like 2010, they reinvented the game over at Domino's.
Yeah. You can get a medium 2 topping for $6. That's a steal, you know.
Oh my god, can't go wrong. Just yeah, there you go, Bezo. Just live on that. Design keyboards, keyboard boxes for office furniture. You got it set.
Dude, I would if I just ate pizza and design keyboards all day, I would be a 800-pound keyboard designer.
You'd be
that
me.
does sound like a dream.
You'd be me minus the keyboard design part. Me in 2020 has not been a good year.
Oh yeah, don't worry for me for sure.
Yeah, so I think it's the fact that I used to work out a fair amount, and I would eat like a maniac because I worked out. Well,
right.
I stopped working out, but I kept eating like a maniac.
Yeah.
So something's got to give. 2020's been rough.
Right.
Alrighty. So yeah, we're just about through here, getting these switches loaded up. Have you used the NovelKey Silks yet?
I have used the silks. I've gotten I've gotten both. What is this? They had a silk dry and like silk.
The dry and the wet series.
The wet, yeah. So I got
Great
both.
names.
I really liked the silk series. I thought that was pretty good. The dry series, maybe I just lubed them because I'm not a great luber, but maybe I just lubed them like crap. But they weren't as good as like some other JWK or the other lube switches. In my opinion.
Milk said these, and I think these are the wet ones. Milk said these are some of the best sounding switches he's heard in a while, and he was very interested to see what this sounded like once it was built. So I'm very excited to see this end result. I think we're gonna have a good one here.
The NK Silks are NovelKey. I mean, not NovelKeys. They're JWK, right? Do you know?
I want to say yes to that.
Yeah.
And before I continue putting every single switch on here, we should test some stabilizers. I'm doing things slightly out of order. Normally I put just the stabilized keys on and then test them, but I forged on. Let's see here.
Question for you. Are the switches clipping into the plate?
They absolutely make a contact. I don't know. I think they do clip in to an extent. I'll pay attention on the next one. I had a headset set in too, so hold on. I can't hear you too well. Let me just make sure I got this stabilizer tuned well. I think I need a little bit more. I'm gonna do the Simon Super Loop technique on this spacebar. I think I need a little bit more on the front of this stabilizer.
Just gotta shove more lube in there, right?
Back,
Yeah.
Hey, when in doubt, just add more lube.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
When in doubt. There we go. Beautiful. All right, let's try that again. Oh yeah, that one's good. Let's listen to the shift key here real quick. Okay, that one's good. Sorry, Bezo. Sorry, chat. I know this isn't the most compelling of conversation here right now. Let me just make sure I've got my stabilizers good, and then we will continue the build and continue hanging out here with Bezo around me. So what are you drinking tonight, Bezo? You got anything interesting?
Drinking some good old water, you know.
Oh, there we go.
I'm actually not much of a drinker.
Okay.
I had like one can of White Claw and I almost died. So that's kind of where I'm at with alcohol right now.
Hey, I hear that. Alcohol's expensive too. You're saving yourself a lot of money by not being an alcoholic.
I hear.
Okay, those stabilizers sound good. Oh yeah. All right, so let's catch up here real quick. Let's see here. Ask about, okay, so Massa says, ask about since the McRib is on the menu if it'll bring a change in the Bezo special.
You know, I almost was tempted. I heard the McRib was back, and I was very tempted to get it today, but I went against it. I couldn't.
What is
I was a good boy.
What is that? What is that meat?
What is what?
I said, what is that even? What mystery meat do they have put in that McRib? Because don't get me wrong,
I don't know.
It's delicious. I haven't had a McRib since I was in high school though.
Good. But I've either had the McRib probably once or never, but I think I know what it tastes like because I'm pretty sure in high school they sold like, I don't know if your school sold these, but like we had like
them.
the barbecue rib day,
yep.
And it looks exactly like a McRib, like the whatever meat they use.
Yeah, it was basically just a McRib. I remember that. Yeah, that and the cardboard pizza.
Oh, the cardboard pizza, yep. I'm telling you, something about like
those were good days in the school cafeteria.
For sure, you know, $3 you get the cardboard food. Not a bad deal.
You were local too, right, Bezo? Aren't you in the DC metro area?
I am Central Maryland area, yeah.
Okay. Yep. So it was probably the same.
Probably very similar
school system, yeah, for both of us. Yep. That's funny. Nice. All right, so let's see here. When's the next keyboard grilling session? Asks Artemy. Got to get some char-grilled keeb meats.
So I'm actually planning on doing another video, another stream of me chucking a board into the fire, and I'm like 100% serious. I don't know, Max, if you caught my last stream where I barbecued on my RS.
Yeah, on RS. Yep, RS so lit.
So RS so lit, yeah. But I'm planning on doing the same thing. Not the same. I'm not gonna grill on it. But I have a K now that I recently got. It's a stainless steel bottom one. The plan is to actually put it on top of a fire again because I don't know if you know about this, but steel when put under like a lot of heat, it changes colors. I don't know what exactly the temperature is, but like at a certain point, it goes to like colors of like blue, purple.
Oh, so like maybe get a little bit of a light show going.
Yeah. So I think it's called bluing. It's a process of just like pretty much putting like a whole bunch of heat on the steel. Last time I did it to my RS weight actually in the last stream. I had to use a blowtorch though. So I'm gonna do something similar with my K that I recently got since it's also stainless steel. I'm hoping to get interesting results, but it's gonna be some gore for probably a lot of people. But
yeah,
I'm less concerned if it's my design, you know. If it's something else, if it's like a TGR, I probably wouldn't do it. But you know, it's a user own design. So I don't care as much.
Yeah, you know, you're belittling your own designs here. Don't sell yourself too short, man. TGR.
It's just that I've seen it.
Bezo collab when?
Man, I wish that'd be sick. I would love to do collabs with more people, like even like collabing between us. It's nice, you know. But like, even like design collabs, that'd be kind of cool. I don't really have.
It happens all the time. I feel like in the artisan world, but then in the keyboard world, I feel like we don't see it as much, you know. I mean, unless it's like Nathan Kim, you know, working with TGR, or you know, like and you know, Nathan's not really a designer. I mean, he'll come up with like, you know, an idea of like, hey, throw this profile on here, and it's just all Sam putting, you know, the work in on the other end. But yeah, I think it would be kind of cool to see that. Like, you know, imagine if like, you know, you and Lynn got together and like the mad crazy curvature side profiles with one of your Starman knobs. Let's go.
Yeah, that'd be any collab would be cool, and like I guess like design collab and not like a vendor collab, because I guess you can consider me, NovelKey, and me
True.
as a kind of collab.
Sure.
Keyboard Treehouse and me.
Yeah.
I'm treating it like a collab, but it's not really a design collab. So, yeah, if anyone wants to collab with me, I don't know what I could contribute because the thing about collabing, like especially with designs, is that like, one person like if it's
true.
two designers, like one person already knows like how to do everything. You know what I mean? It's like where it's not like okay, I do 50% of design and then you do the other 50%. So it's kind of hard. Like right. I understand why it's like kind of rare, for not rare, but I understand why it's like not too common for custom collabs, because like what could you do to like make it distinctly you?
Sure.
That's always a hard part.
Yeah, and it might just at the end of the day be something more similar where somebody like Nathan Kim, and I just use that as an example because he's had a couple of collabs with TGR, just comes up with an idea, just says, hey, what's kind of cool, like we should do a Jane TGR, we should do like a Jane layout with your like prototype grill bottom, but instead throw on some LZSQ sides. And you remember the Jun one-off that they did there? I mean, that one ended up so cool. So it might, and you're absolutely right. I mean, maybe having more than one person of Fusion actually working doesn't make sense, but the melding and molding of ideas.
And it becomes a problem like if it's like too many designers, you get too many cooks, right?
Right.
So,
yeah, I could see that. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because for designing, like a lot of people, I've noticed this for sure. A lot of like designers like have their own specific way of doing things, that might not like, that might be different for another designer. Like maybe, like for example, like I want to go like 1 millimeter thickness here, like that's okay. But another designer might be like, oh no, 1 millimeter is like way too thin. We have to make it at least 2 millimeters.
Right.
And stuff like that. There's always going to be collision because there are different opinions on like different experiences. Like you can say like, oh, right. I've gone this thin around this area before. It's fine. And the other guy's like, well, that's still kind of thin. Like,
agree to disagree.
So it's just stuff like that. So yeah, long story short, I can see why there's not many collabs for customs. For artisans, it kind of makes sense because I don't know how. I'm not. I think they get
a bit of. I mean, you kind of explained. I think a lot of what I've heard too. Like they kind of get a little bit, right? There's the artistry of it, which kind of sets in. And I think you brought up a good point with artist collabs. There's like a way to sculpt the keycap, that kind of is like agreed upon and works. In order to make it so there's no bubbles in your mold and everything else. And not to get too into the weeds with that, but it's kind of like there's a foundation there, and there's like, an MX stem is an MX stem is an MX stem, and it's just kind of, what do you design differently on top? What do you draw differently on top to make it unique? And so I can see that for sure. Xiaohao brings up the Exent. That was a good example of a collab there with Rama and TGR, and then Arsenic, if I remember correctly, and then Lol Originative slowing it all down with their keycap set. That was a big collab. That was a big collab. And Zach, I'm also laughing, Bezo. Zach says, I like how Bezo's question is, do the switches clip in? And Max's response is, they absolutely do make contact. Max,
they do.
That is superb White House level deflection. Nice. I don't know if I'm going to be going for press secretary, Zach, but hey, I appreciate that.
Yeah, the reason I brought it up was because in the design is actually one point, like the part that clips in, where the switch clips in, is actually like designed to be 1.5, but I actually think it's like kind of, well, maybe almost like a factory error, because it definitely should. When I built mine, mine weren't clicking in as audibly, if that's a word, audibly as I expected them to. And I'm thinking, since this is like not a flat plate, I'm thinking maybe they just went like a hair over the standard thickness, just like what is it? It's like in the CNC process or whatever.
That tolerance, just a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, the tolerance exactly.
Yeah,
It's a tolerance. So it's enough so that the switch doesn't clip in as it doesn't snap in, and maybe that's a better way to put it.
Sure.
But it's still definitely usable. But I think it's definitely a learning lesson for me. I should probably go to account for the tolerances like that. I should probably go a little bit thinner for the part that clips in. So yeah, that's one thing to take away from that.
You know, I think, and I didn't say that. I didn't say that to cast any shade. I think I mean they don't go anywhere. Like nothing is, and even on my plate that I have behind me here, I think I only have like 1 or 2 in there, and I think I did install them into the plate first. I think what's happening is I might not hear it clipping in as much into the plate because I'm pushing it straight through into the PCB. And I just have had the plate sitting on this entire time, whereas sometimes I'll actually put them into the plate first and then drop the plate with like half the switches on into the PCB. But with a 5mm plate, you don't have to worry about that, chat, because if you can see, you've got the plate and the PCB touching. So there's no need to worry about that. Which from a builder perspective, super awesome quality of life. So Mr. Petrov, also from a builder perspective, said a second ago, I love seeing Max go slowly crazy about some minuscule stab rattle that only he and dogs can hear. One of my favorite things in keyboards. And then a second later he goes, Max, I can hear a little rattle. So I don't know if you noticed, Mr. Petrov, I actually took my spacebar from this and moved it over here to see if it was rattle with the stab or my keycap. The keycap is a little bit loose on the right side, so that's what that was. When I used this keycap, I didn't hear that at all. So my stabilizers remain perfect.
You know, that's the fun of this hobby, you know, just being hypersensitive to some things, you know. Like I make fun of people just being like, I make fun of people who like comment if they're like hypersensitive about like, oh, this switch has like a tiny bit of rattle, tiny bit of clack or whatever rattle. Right. But it's like, you know, that's what this hobby is, you know. That's whole point, is being like getting most of what you have. So it's like you can make fun of it.
Yeah, exactly.
it's funny to make fun of, but it's like it's fun to be anal about some things, you know.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's that hunt for perfection, right?
Exactly.
Right.
That's what makes it fun. Just like min maxing.
Yeah.
And I know on the
min max.
There's a rule on, you know, the R custom keyboard subreddit, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a rule. One of the rules is like no KB fans or whatever, and like there's like a comment on it that's like, this isn't to be elitist, but this may sound elitist or whatever for not allowing like mass produced boards, but it's like that's the whole point, like of like hobby, you know, just to be like of like a niche hobby, especially, you know.
I mean, we are very much so a hobby within a hobby. You know, yeah. People get into mechanical keyboards, and that is a hobby, and then they get into customs, and that's a whole nother rabbit hole. Yeah. And then they get into artisans, and good luck, you know. So yeah.
That's a good way to put it. It definitely is like a hobby within a hobby. That's a really good way.
It evolves. I can't even go onto RMK anymore. I mean, it's just there's nothing there for me anymore. I've seen all the memes 10 times over, you know. It's just, and it's exactly, I mean, as you put it, and the rule puts it, it's not to be a dick or anything. It's just, you know, we're tired of seeing everyone's tofu posted 10 times over.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah.
RMK, I don't remember I don't know if you remember like the RMK days where it's like there's so many memes of like, oh man, my wallet is gonna be sad about this. My wife is gonna be angry at me. Do you remember like that time where it's like there's so many memes, like it's like, oh, I'm broke now, haha. It's like
Right. It's the
like,
same thing.
I just got so tired of it. That was like my
Yeah.
turning point with RMK. Just I was
Right.
just tired of like
Right.
the same old games.
Yeah, exactly. I don't need to be reminded that my wife already left me 10 years ago because I've spent
Right.
all my money on keyboards. I was there 10 years ago and I'm here now. I'm still here. Stop reminding me.
Right. And I swear I saw like 10 of those posts a day. It
Oh,
feels
yeah.
like at least.
Yep.
I don't know if it's like that anymore. I'm sure it still is to some extent, but
Oh, I'm sure
like,
if you went there now, there'd
I was
be a
talking-
meme, there'd be a top-rated meme, and there'd be something with a crooked
Yeah.
pipe key right up near the top with 4,000 upvotes. And
Right,
and yep,
exactly.
yeah, not another one. Can't do it. Zach, I'm
it's
actually
funny,
building
though.
Justin's Little Z tonight. This is Justin's. I haven't tuned up my Garys yet for mine.
Ooh, Gary's nice.
Have you used those yet? Ooh, so good.
I have not. What exactly are Gary's? They're
It's the OG Gat Yellows with the good spring, and you just keep everything from the Gat Yellow and just throw some cherry tops on there. I
interesting.
memed it with my Ogre, and I put vintage black tops on it. That was literally just because I couldn't find any retooled. The troubles of
Sure.
an elitist keyboard collector. Hey, it is though. It's basically, for anyone who played World of Warcraft, it's basically the elitist jerks forum. That's what RCK is.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not denying it. I'm a mod there. And I'm not gonna deny that.
Yep. No, I think I joined. I think I was one of the first. I think I was in the top 50 people of in RCK. I was pretty early in there because I actually had, not to toot my own horn or anything, but I actually had Black Simon's first keyboard build ever, outside of the UAE, outside of all of his oil sand money collectors.
His monopoly.
Right.
Nice. Simon created that subreddit, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he did. All right, I'm going to attempt to put RTX voice on here for a second. Is my audio quality been sounding like shit here? Hold on one second. Nope, it
Sounds
hasn't.
good to
Sorry
me.
about that. Okay, yeah, no, it looked like my camera wasn't, or my audio wasn't on the right device, but it is. We might just have to deal with some fan noise here, chat. Let's see here. There we go. Okay, RTX voice should be on now. Hopefully I don't lose my microphone, Bizo. If I do, I'll be having it plugged back in just a second. Let's see. My power circuit is on the same thing as my mic somehow. All right, one second.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, I know, it's no good. All right, test. All right, we're good. And I didn't lose my camera either. Yeah, I've changed that. I've made sure it's on a different surge protector and everything. But still, this fan right here remains on the same circuit as it, and I just don't want to plug an extension cord all the way across my office. So one day I'll just blow out my $1,000 mic. That'll be worth it because I'm just lazy.
Have you had problems with it before?
Sometimes there's surge protection all over it. It'll have to surge through like multiple surge protectors and an audio controller that has grounding protection on it. And if it does get to the audio controller, it has died on me before. But I just need to. All I have to do is just unplug and replug my audio controller. But I need to drain 48-volt power from the audio controller first, which takes about 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes from my microphone before I can unplug it. Because otherwise, then I'm just unplugging it and like the power surges to the mic.
Wow, that's kind of intense. That's a lot.
Yeah, so like audio, like the XLR audio mics. So this guy, I don't know if you watch the stream still. So this guy right here is actually powered through this XLR cable. And so 48 volts of power actually gets fed up to the microphone through this thing from the audio controller, which is this guy, and then that guy is powered into the wall and through my computer actually. And so when it surges, I need to unplug this USB cable here from this audio controller and just plug it back in, and then it instantly works again. But in order to do that, I need to turn the power off to the mic first, which I just can't. I have to let it drain slowly. So,
Right.
a little bit of audio engineering information there.
Well, hope lightning doesn't strike.
Right. Well, that we are protected in that instance. Hopefully, my fan doesn't kill everything, though. Hopefully, my $10 fan here, my exhaust fan, doesn't kill everything.
Is that like a computer fan, or like that's not made for solder?
It looks like it. Yeah, it's actually made for it, but it does look exactly like a computer fan, doesn't it? It's just huge.
Yeah.
Look how thick that is. And then it does have a carbon filter in the front, which is absolutely disgusting looking. You can see where all the fumes have been
I
sucked
see
in on the bottom.
Yeah. I see
Yeah.
the filter.
Yeah, so there is a filter on it as well. But yeah, and with RTX voice, you can't even hear it. It's loud as shit. So yeah. But
Yeah, you still sound pretty clear on my end.
it kind of sounds like I'm underwater a little bit, but the RTX voice noise suppression is crazy good.
Yeah.
So it works really, really well. So
Nice.
turn that on just when we're soldering, then we turn it back off so people can get those clean keyboard sounds. So
I
anyways,
should probably
chat.
get a fan.
Oh yeah, you just roll with the. I formerly would do the blowout method.
Oh yeah. You hold your breath.
The
and then
exhale.
blow out. Yeah.
Yeah, exhale when you're actually soldering.
Yeah.
Inhale when you're not. Yep. Closed room because it's too cold in the winter.
Exactly.
This is
I
all
really
good.
should get a fan.
Yeah,
I'm
just
killing
messing,
myself.
just messing around with cancer. No big deal.
Yeah.
You know, just flirting with cancer.
You gotta live on the edge, you know.
Hey, there you go. Whatever keeps the adrenaline pumping. Whatever you got to do in 2020 to make yourself feel alive after having stared at the same four walls for the entire year. Oh man, yeah. So we talked to K, we talked to KFE, we talked to Little Z, we talked to Starman, and I am never going to be able to remember the function roller's TKL name. Say it again for me.
It's the full name is Kikwit Chimonji, but you can just call it K Manji. I can put it in chat.
K Manji.
K Manji.
K Manji.
Yeah, that's a shorter way to say it.
Okay, K Manji. That's what I will lovingly refer to it as. Unless you want to laugh at me trying to say Kiku Chimanji. Is that right? Kiku Chimanji?
Yeah, that's
Kiku
close.
Chimanji. There we go.
Yeah.
Nice.
Good job.
There we go. Hey, I did it. Little pat on the back. So, well, I know you said you could only hang out for about an hour here, and we're coming up on that point here. What does your schedule look like, Vizo? Do you have to roll? I can
stay on for a little bit. I wasn't sure of my schedule before, which is why I said an hour, but I can stay on for a little.
Nice.
Ooh, 5 gift subs.
Oh, there we go. Thank you, Yuri. I appreciate that, brother. Welcome everybody. Ooh, you got a gifted sub. I call out people I recognize when they got a gifted sub.
I see Jam Pot. I know Jam Pot.
Oh yeah, Jam Pot. There we go. Jam Pot, Yuli, Felix, and Jeff, and Happy Jack. Welcome everybody. OP Lightblade, says Justin. So he's clearly played the video game as well. I'm assuming it's a Lightblade.
Oh yeah.
The Kiku.
Yeah, I didn't even see that comment. Yep.
Kikuichi Mondi. There we go. All right. There we go. Perfect. Yes. Thank you so much, Yuri. I really appreciate that, bro. So then let's get back into it. So we talked KFE, we talked the K. What is it? The for short K Manchi.
K Manji. A lot of board starts with a K. I just noticed KFE K.
Yeah, and then the K. Yeah. So how's K round 2 going?
K round 2. I'll be honest. I'm not too like involved with the fulfillment side of things.
Okay.
And I actually have to like remind people that like sometimes I get questions about like people's orders. And I'm like, I can't help you there, buddy. But
I'm not customer service. I'm sorry.
Yeah, like I don't work for MonoKey. I just designed the thing. But it's
right.
KFER. I mean, not KFER2. KR2. I like the colors. I didn't know about the colors until the product page actually went up, so it was a surprise for me also. But I'm really liking.
Okay.
I'm really liking the what is it the Titan Gray and Brass Bottom. I think that sticks out to me the most.
So Artemy was here. He has one of those already. Does that sound right? Or does he have renders?
I
His
think
pictures
he has,
almost look like renders.
yeah, because Artemy's pictures are very good.
Yeah.
But he has a proto. I believe that's a prototype with that color. So I think Beaming Robot did some testing with some colors.
Okay.
So the board he does have looks like it's a proto, and I can tell because of the bump on locations. They're not quite the same as in the production units. So, but I think the goal is to get that same color for the production run.
Turned out stunning. I mean, the pictures, of course,
great.
Artemy takes phenomenal photos. Artemy was here in chat. If you are Artemy still here, feel free to show your Instagram. And yeah, it turned out incredible looking. And it really cool colors. The pink looks really cool. That sort of lighter OG pink. I'm a huge fan of. You've of course got the military green, the olive green in the mix there. And then remind me, there was another the lilac purple. Ooh,
yes.
They all look good.
Yeah, I think the most exciting part of R2 is the wind keyless top. I'm very interested to get my hands on that too.
True. Yeah. So when you design this, what is your 60% layout of choice? This is a real personal question, I feel like, for a lot of collectors.
I feel like I'm picky with my 60% layout, but my ideal 60% is wind key bottom row, so it's the Sangan bottom row, step caps lock, split right shift, and full backspace.
There we go. That's my perfect 60. What we're building here.
Yep.
Awesome. This is the canonical 60% layout. Yeah.
It is. I love it's such a solid layout because it's like functional because you have the function key, the stepped caps. I love step caps. The symmetrical bottom row. Ooh, I just love it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then the full backspace because we're not heathens out here using split. Yuri, who just gifted us subs. I know you're a split backspace lover, or at least you had me build your key cult with one. So I'm thinking of you as I talk some smack here. we love you though. Yeah, we love you though, Yuri. Yeah, that is also my layout. That is my layout of choice. I could pull over about 5 different 60%, all with the same layout, with the exception of my HHKB. But yeah, there it is in my with my ogre. And you've of course got to use the OG arrow cluster keys for the arrows. That's the only way. Of course, yeah. R5 on the bottom row if you've got it, and there's the R5. You can see how it has this much steeper slope there. And then you gotta go with the OG set with the arrow cluster. The arrow cluster Windows keys. That's the way. Yeah. Yes, sir.
I actually built my K recently. The personal unit I got from the group buy. I built it with that same layout, but I put OG Doge caps on it, and the arrow keys are where the wind keys are. Step caps it's so nice. I love OG Doge.
Yeah, so good. Here's a funny story. I was on a work trip the other month, 2-3 months ago, and they had in this office building a sort of like OG museum type deal with like a whole bunch of their old equipment, and within it they had a mobile OG Dolce like terminal laptop thing. It was absolutely not a laptop as you'd think of it. It had like a full like CRT computer screen and the portion of it that like flipped down was an OG Dolce pack. However, it had a very weird boxed layout with a halvesies function row. I wasn't allowed to bring cell phones into this place, but it looked so cool. I really wish I could have taken a picture of it.
Interesting. That sounds like a layout I would make.
It was that you know what I'm talking about too, with that like that mini half key function row. It was probably some like rubber dome type thing on probably the entire thing, unfortunately. But
I think I know what you're
and the
talking about.
the keycaps were the proper Dolce colorway. It was very cool with an actual like Dolce pack logo and everything on it right there, stamped in the middle. It was cool.
Sick.
So let's talk switches. What did you put in? What did you put in your K?
I put. Oh jeez, what did I put? Oh man, you're putting me on the spot like this. I don't do well under pressure. Jeez.
Hey Zach, thank you so much for tuning in as well, brother. Appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks, Zach. Good night, Zach. I put in lube. Oh, you know that one new switch that KD fans came out with, the Gateron caps or whatever. They're like the yellow switches. It kind of has like a different stem design.
I'm trying to. That's not the little Tykes one, is it?
No. This is a. It's like a. It's kind of new. It was after the Tykes. It's not like a community design like colorway or anything. It's just like a whole different design to the Switch. The stem is a little different. I have pictures. It wasn't on my Instagram, but it's like it's still a Switch, still mechanical Switch, but
right.
The spring is a little bigger. The stem design, like there's no like middle pole on that stem. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. It's just kind of it's interesting. It's pretty cheap too. I think it's like 35 cents.
Okay.
Pop.
Justin might have just linked it here for us. Gateron,
yes, exactly,
Gateron cap switches. Here we go. Let me here you go, chat. Just in case you don't want to click his link, I have it here. The Gateron cap switches. So how did these turn out?
I have my opinions on them. So they
also,
definitely
did you go
sound
with the yellow or the milky ones?
I got both. The ones I put in my K are the all yellow ones.
Okay.
But I do have plans to use the milky ones at some point after I loop them. But I think they sound. I actually really love the sound. When like the more I type on it.
Yeah, Gateron does good stuff.
Yeah, I'm a huge Gateron fan. But smoothness wise, I think I don't know.
They're a linear. They're a linear, not a tactile.
Correct. They're both the yellow and the milkies are linears. Yeah. I think there might be different spring weights. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Okay.
But smoothness wise, I do think JWK is still smoother.
Yeah.
Compared to regular Gateron Milky Tops, I want to say.
Sure.
I don't know, man. I feel like regular Gaterons are smoother, but again, it might just be because of my bad looping job.
Well, don't sell yourself too short. I do think the Gaterons are pretty good, but I agree with you. I do think overall JWKs are a bit smoother. I don't think anybody's really beating JWK in terms of the smoothness factor.
Maybe Gateron Inks.
Those are pretty good. They're pretty close contender. I'd still say JWKs are smoother, but the inks have such a cool sound signature to them.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So are you a linear guy or a tactile guy?
I'm mostly a linear guy, but like I unironically really like brown switches. Like, you go through in this hobby, you go through the phases of like, haha, Gateron or browns are so bad, they're like MX sand or MX, they're scratchy linears, whatever. But it's like like the more you get into the hobby, it's like the more you appreciate like, all these like huge tactile switches are coming out, like the super tactile switches, like Holy Pandas and like the Royals and all that, and those are great. Don't get me wrong, but like sometimes you just want some like a subtle tactility, and that's where browns are like really shining for me.
I feel like I have to cut you off, Bezo. I feel like you're chucking yourself here. Please feel free to say whatever the hell you want. I will say it for you, I'm sick as hell of the huge tactile bump. and I've told people that. Now I do understand it though, just like you said. I do understand it, the novelty of that thing. It takes a bit for it to wear off, but once it does, people, I feel like, I mean, I got sick of it. I mean, I don't know if everyone does, if some people just get on that thing and ride it out, it seems like a lot of people do. But I certainly, and I just get fatigued. I need something lighter.
Yeah.
And those heavier bumps are too much. So yeah, I'm right with you. I like a good ergo clear, a good vintage brown, or maybe like remember the mod M switches.
Oh, the mod, yeah, that's like a good medium tactility there for sure.
Yep.
Compared to now, especially now.
The God M. That was one of the earlier day KB Customs memes. The God M. Yeah, because it was. I think Sony loved them. I think Sony loved Mod M's, and so anytime he would come in, you'd be like, somebody would say Mod M, and he'd be like, God M asterisk. Yeah.
Was that the Geek Maker Switch? That was the Geek Maker Switch, right? Who sold it?
That sounds right. And I think it originally was sold by Devon, Mech 27. Does that sound right? It might have just been. It might have just been
before my time.
Yeah, I might have just heard it for the first time on a Mech 27. Do you remember Actual Glacier? Yeah. He's like one of the fastest typers. Like, I think on the face of the planet. The guy types like 190 to 200 words per minute. But yeah, I remember one of his first typing sounds tests. I heard Mod M's on a Mech 27, and I ended up copying that build almost verbatim. Yeah, it was one of my favorite keyboards with it. Admittedly, and regrettably, I don't have it anymore.
Yeah, I think I know what video you're talking about. That's a great board. The Mech 27. I don't have that much experience with it, but it's definitely a solid board and
a bit old school. That acrylic middle layer. Yeah, I liked. It's unfortunate the V2 had such issues because I don't like that acrylic middle layer as much, and the V2 got rid of that. But good luck finding a Mech 27 V2. They don't really exist. They don't really exist because the group buy went sideways, and a lot of people got refunded after like 8 months.
We don't talk about the Mech 27 anymore.
He's not. Yeah, that drama has been brushed under the carpet at this point. So yeah, keyboard drama is a funny topic.
Oh God, I don't even want to get into that topic. It's
well, yeah. How did we get here?
Right. I was gonna say, like, can you imagine? It's drama about mechanical keyboards. Like, imagine if you weren't in the hobby and you heard that. Like, it's like two words you wouldn't hear normally together. Drama and keyboard.
Right.
Here we are.
It'd be like finding out there was an avid kite flying hobbyist community and people were getting pissed off about each other copying kite designs.
Exactly.
It's basically the same thing.
That's why, like, me being in this hobby has made me very less judgmental of other hobbies.
I gotta tell you, it's desensitized me to everything. I was talking about it on a stream the other night. I don't pay attention to what anything costs anymore. I'm thinking about getting into the coffee hobby, and I'm like, oh, $3,000 for an espresso machine?
Oh,
that seems reasonable. $3K for this setup seems totally reasonable.
I was talking about this with my friends the other day, like other keyboard friends. Now it was like, oh, $100 for like a kitchen, like an appliance. I don't know about that. But then it's like $600 for a keyboard. You're like, oh, sign me up.
Seems like a steal to me.
Yeah, that's a steal. But it's like the important stuff that's like $100, $50. I don't know.
Right.
kind of pricey.
Yeah.
Here I am spending.
Do you really need another keyboard? My wife asks me quite frequently, and the answer is always yes. The answer is always yes.
Might not have room for it either, but it's always yes.
I have some acrylic stands coming so that I can actually stack my keyboards closer together on my shelf. because I am out of space. I have 20 acrylic stands coming.
Oh my god.
Which is going to be nerve-wracking because they're all just going to break, and I'm just going to come into my office and all my keyboards are going to be on the floor one day.
Well, at least you're ready for it. If it does happen.
Mentally, I don't know if I am quite prepared for that eventuality yet. I'm trying to wrap my head around, should I really be putting my $500 keyboard and 10 of them on a $5 piece of acrylic? It'll be fine. What's the worst that can happen? I mean, if the little Z drops on something, it might fall through my floor into my basement.
Or if it falls on your toe, you might have to go to the ER.
Oh yeah. We'll get the scale out for this thing once we're done building it. The plate, PCB, and switches itself are about the same weight as a normal keyboard. A normal custom keyboard, mind you.
Yeah, like a TKL, yeah.
Yeah, like if you were to get like a polycarbonate, like the polycarbonate TKL, this is probably heavier.
Oh yeah, I think it is.
Yeah. It's crazy. So did you see the Lin montage in all brass?
In all brass? I did not see that. That sounds very cool.
6 kilograms.
Oh man. Was it 12 pounds? 13 pounds?
It's just about 13 pounds.
That sounds insane.
He built it with a PC plate too. So it doesn't even have a heavy plate. Yeah,
and should have gone all brass. all the way.
Yeah, I think it was Kenyans who built it. I can't remember if it was Kenyans or someone else on YouTube that I was following. But yeah, super heavy. And then like the comments, he was like, it was just too hard with a brass plate, so I put a PC plate in it. It's still 13 pounds. I think we're good. Yeah, just in case
wild.
You need a weapon and you don't even feel like swinging it, you just want to drop it on somebody. Be like Home Alone, you just have it like rigged above your door so that it falls down in case an intruder comes in. Yeah, to do some damage for sure. Yeah,
the montage is pretty sharp too, so that'll definitely do some damage.
That's right, it is. I had built one montage. Yeah, sharp angles on it. Yeah. That little plate is such a cool little aesthetic on it.
Mm-hmm.
Just very nuanced, doesn't really demand your attention, but it's just kind of like a cool little design.
Yeah. Montage is a solid design board. I'm a fan of it. I don't own one, but I like it.
So what do you think of Korean designers and where they are currently? We had LZ just come out with the physics lately. What is Lin has the Dollinger RE, right? That just came out. What are we else? Oh yeah, and Geon.
Yeah, so I think Korean boards, Lin, all the OGs, right? Lin, LZ, TX, they're still going strong, and I'm so happy to see that. They're still making like designs that people love. So it was good to see. Like I've always been a fan of those designs. And newcomer, you mentioned Gone Works. He's like I know from what I understand, he's like a professional CNC dude by trade, and like he's I think he's one of the only members of this community he was designing keyboards who actually knows what he's doing.
He seems really accessible too, which is refreshing for somebody from the Korean community. Now, I don't know if he's like embedded in the Korean community or if he's more sort of like, involved and he's there by association regionally, or if he's like an OG collector and by extension designer. Do you happen to know?
I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised if he collects stuff, because the Korean community, from what I understand, is it's a pretty tight knit community.
Pretty tight knit. Yeah. I mean, so Lin will do all of his buys right in Korea first, and then he'll do like the Westerner buys afterwards. And same with TX and Duck.
Duck. Yeah, I love Duck.
You remember Duck? When was the last? Was the TCV3 the last design we had from him?
No, the most recent design was the Orion V2.5.
Okay.
But that was after the Orion V3. But I think the V2.5 is kind of like a, like middle, like I think it has like both elements from like V2 and like V3 from what I understand. Okay. And it's like USB-C. That's like one of the selling points. So yeah, he's still
okay.
Yeah, I'm happy like that they're all like these. They've been around for years.
Yeah, I mean, aside from OTD, so cool. They're all still there. Yeah.
Yeah, they're still kicking around. It's really cool to see that, and I just really love it.
Yeah, so I mean, I got into the hobby in 2014, which I was surprised you were in the hobby about, God, what was it, 3-4 years later than me? My first custom was not to flex on you or anything, Lisa.
Or flex all you want, man. I love it.
But my first custom was a TX 1800. And so, I mean, yeah.
Oh, nice. That's such a solid board.
Yeah, the good boy. Yeah, I mean, definitely. If you want to try and hurt somebody with it, it's very solid. Yeah, I think a full block of aluminum, and the thing was like 6 pounds. Yeah, it was definitely a big one for sure. Yeah, they are. They're all still here. They're all still designing. The physics I have, and I've been dailying at the office.
Physics is so nice.
So good. Yeah, I mean, exactly. Yeah, they're all still at it, which is great. With the exception of OTD. I think OTD is the we're all waiting but even on a reemergence, right?
I would love that. Yeah, but even OTD was like many years before them. I feel like too.
OTD paved the way. Yep.
Yeah, definitely for sure.
OTD was back in I think the first OTD boards, I want to say were back in is 2013 too late?
I think it was 20. It wasn't like 2010 or something. It was like
I was gonna say 10 at first. Yeah, I was gonna say 2010 at first, but then I felt like 2013 might have been it.
I feel like 2013 is a little late. It's definitely before 2013, but someone else in chat can keep me honest. Another OG person.
Yeah, I would think 2010. I think you're right. 2013, the more it resonates with me, the more it sounds too late. But yeah, I mean, really cool designs, and I mean, they paved the way. And then they were kind of done designing as LZ and Duck and Lin and all these other Korean designers started coming onto the scene. So yeah, it was all and mostly car inspired. If I remember, OTD is mostly car line inspired. On the decks. Yeah, so for those of you in chat kind of taking a trip down memory lane with us here, or maybe confused at what the hell we're talking about, I'm talking today to Bizarrami. He is the designer of the Little Z keyboard that we are building currently, just about done building. And yeah, we're talking OG Korean designers, just anything keyboards in general. Dangleberries, I'm sorry. Dangleberry says I missed the stash. It was so short-lived. But November is officially over, as with it, my mustache. I do apologize. We're streaming in memory of my mustache today, Visa. So Chad, if you have any questions for Visa Ron in regards to keyboard design, nobody's asked it yet. So Visa, we talked. You said that you got into it originally because you wanted to see something particular brought to life. Did you have design experience before you started hopping in Fusion for the first time?
I had zero experience. It took me so long for me to get my own prototype made. It took months just because like I said, I just started over so many designs, because I found a way to do something better, to start from scratch, and then just messing around, and yeah, zero design experience previously, and what really helped me learn was the I don't know if you remember, Quantric made a video about keyboard design.
Yep.
And that was like the video. Like if you wanted to learn, like at that time, like that was.
Remind me of Quantric in a second too. Please continue. Yep.
Yeah. Like that was the video if you wanted to learn anything keyboard design. Like there's some stuff that's like not completely accurate or could be done better, but like if you like wanted to, like he explained everything so well, like it was easy for even me, you know, just like someone who had zero prior design experience. Like it was very easy to like digest, and like that's what really helped me out for sure. That was a spark, really.
Yeah.
So I highly recommend, if anyone is like getting into that or wants to get into keyboard design, definitely watch the Quantric video. You should be able to like find it on YouTube pretty easy.
Well, so
it's
just
Quantric,
recently,
Quantrik. Yep.
just recently too, he open sourced all of his key files.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yep. So if you're into design, I mean, there's almost a way for you there to not only look at his YouTube videos and say, hey, how do I do this? How did you do this? And he explains it, as you said, Bizo, I think pretty well. And then not only that, but now you've got the Q files that you can load up into the design program, Fusion, right? And almost reverse engineer your way around something that's already templated out for you. Pretty wild. Right, yeah. Pretty wild. QKL when? I keep asking Quantric. Do you remember that? He had a TKL,
yeah,
kind of like an LVSQ
that was
side
his, like,
inspiration too.
That was his like last thing he was designing before he kind of went like MIA.
He still streams on Twitch. Do you ever watch his Twitch streams? He plays Path of Exile.
I've seen a couple of his Path of Exile streams. Yeah, he's like a speedrunner now. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. He every time I see him too, he's got like 200, 300 people watching. All right, hopefully my microphone doesn't die off here. Let's see. Hello,
you're good.
Test. Okay, cool. We're good.
Yep, you're good.
Nice. Okay, chat. I think we are just about I think we are just about done with the stabilizer, with the soldering. I just want to test it real quick too. Okay, I just turned RTX voice off, so it should sound like I'm emerged from the underwater cavern that I was just in. Bizo has nice cheeks, says Sam. Mr. Petrov asks, so how hard was it to come up with an internal screw solution which could accommodate both the O-ring gasket and avoid having the internal case screws hit by the corner of switches?
Right, so that was, like I said, like K was probably my hardest design, just because of that difficulty. Just because of like the seamless and the gasket. So if the gasket didn't make things hard enough, you know, just putting seamless on top of that, or seamless and screwless, I mean, it's extra hard. So the reason why, if you remember, Max, when you built the K, wait, have you built the K?
I did.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Yep, I've got one right behind
me. So you remember, right, yeah, we talked about it before. But the reason why you have to like loop the O-ring kind of around those metal nubs, I want to say, you know what I'm talking about, like those curved areas on the plate, you have to like kind of loop the O-ring around it.
I'll grab it real quick so they can see. I've actually got a client's which is built. I can't hear you, I just took my headset off, but I've actually also got mine which is unbuilt, and so people can see mine real quick. And I can show them the channel that you're talking about. Oh no, here's the one I built. Here's the one I built right here, chat.
I'm watching your stream, but it's like super far behind. I wonder if I can like reset it.
For the other one, hold on one second. Yeah, here's you can kind of see the channel. Let me put my headset back on so I can hear you too, Bizo. You can kind of see the channel in there. So, chat, it's right there above that screw. That screw right there, there's a channel, do you see it there? That goes up, and the gasket, which is one of the gummy worm rubber band gaskets that go around it fits in between the plate and the PCB. But then, so you've got the case here, and then you've got a zoom in, and then you've got the plate and PCB with that gasket that goes around the sides. And then up here, the gasket actually goes above this. It goes above this thing. It clips over on top of that to kind of get out of the way. And what it does is it allows you, I was super impressed by this, it allows you to, right here, if this focuses, hold on one second. It allows you to have a screw-in stabilizer for the spacebar and backspace. So you can see the intricacy of this design. So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off if you were saying something too, Biza.
Oh yeah, no problem. Yeah, you kind of nailed it. So yeah, the reason why you have to tuck the O-ring kind of around that little where the screw post is because if you don't kind of tuck it behind, there's no way you can have like a screw there because the O-ring would be blocking it. Mm-hmm. So that was one of the challenges, is trying to figure out how the heck like do you screw it in if the O-ring's in the way, right? And the first thing I thought of was like just move it out of the way, you know?
Yeah. Right.
And then
which is
like
brilliant.
I don't like. Yeah, moving it out of the way, you know, it's not going to affect type and feel that much. You know, it's still going to be compressed under the O-ring. So that was one thing. Yeah,
and it kind of, I mean, it kind of in a roundabout way, it accomplished something you originally didn't intend on, which is allowing you to use those screw-in stabilizers.
Exactly. Yeah, that was very unintentional.
Yeah, which is really cool.
The channels that you're talking of, are like just. It was just kind of room for the O-ring, you know. Didn't think much of it, but I'm glad it kind of worked out in the end.
Yeah.
So what was the other question?
Absolutely. No, I think.
What was the other part of the question?
I think. Let me see here. So I think that nailed it. You know, how hard it was to come up with an internal screw solution, which could accommodate both the O-ring gasket and avoid having the internal case screws hit by the corner of switches. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So the second part of the question is the internal case screws hitting the corner of the switches. So that was one of the problems. I almost messed up on it. If I didn't catch it, like I was just looking at the design, just look at how I usually do, and I was like, oh crap! Like, if you look at the top screws on the K, the switches, like, because of the corners of the switches, it's kind of hard to explain, but it's kind of like half, like the little screw post is kind of like half of it is on the top case, half of it's on the bottom case.
I'll show you again.
And that's mostly because like the screw, if I didn't split that screw post in half, it would have interfered with the corner of the switches, and you might not have been able to assemble it, but I think there was probably enough wiggle room where I didn't need to split it like that. But just to be safe, I actually just cut it in half just so that it doesn't interfere with the switches. So yeah, you can see we're right underneath the screw head. The blue part and then the silver part is kind of like 50-50. It's really hard to explain, but right underneath the screw head, it's like if you look at the bottom part, it's like all just the top case, but the upper screws is halved. I'm terrible at explaining things.
There you go. I think I've got a good angle on it now, Biza.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, crazy intricate design.
I don't know if that's like ideal. Like I don't know. It worked out in the end, which is I'm happy about it. But it could probably be, always room for improvement. So
that's the perfectionist in you. It's pretty damn cool, and it works, and it sounds good. So, yep. But hey, a true artist and designer, right at heart. Max, have you tried adding the liner to the K yet to see how it sounds? I haven't, Justin. What about you, Bizo? Did you build yours with the liner or without? I built the first one without the liner, and I thought it was just singing without the liner. I thought it sounded great.
So I didn't build mine with liners, but I think K has. People reported that K, and I also know this myself. K has some like sound issues where there's like a little bit of reverb or like a little bit of hollowness or echoey sounds to it.
Yeah.
I know that can be, it's depending on the switch, of course, but that can be kind of mitigated by
Putting
the
that
foam liner that's included.
Yeah.
That can also be the most helpful thing I found for that, to fix that, is using a harder O-ring. Unfortunately, we couldn't include 2 O-rings just because I think the logistics didn't work out.
Okay.
But we wanted to include originally a soft and hard O-ring. So in my K, actually,
Okay.
I have a 90A O-ring, and I think what came with the Ks in the group buy was a 50A. So it's like very, very soft, and the one I use is like super hard 90A. So yeah, I think a 90A O-ring like makes it sound like pretty insane, like much better in my opinion.
Without the liner. Yeah, use
Without
the
the
90,
liner, yeah.
Use the 90A O-ring. There you go. Well, good to know. I might have to pick one of those up and give it a test.
Yeah, and if anyone, like, feel free to like DM me on Instagram or Discord. Not just UMax, if you want, if for the chat, if you want to know like the size for it, because I use like a imperial sizing, or like sizes in inches, just because that was more convenient for me. I know a lot of people who bought K is overseas. I don't know I think it's easy to convert it to millimeters, but just shoot me a DM and I can send you the sizes if you guys want, if you guys are interested.
Beautiful. There you go. Well, yeah, there you go for all you K owners out there. Homework.
Right. And just one thing to note is that if you ordered a HHKB top or a WinKey top, it's going to be different size O-ring if you use a 90A O-ring, because it doesn't stretch as much.
Sure.
But 50A, you can use it for both because it's so soft.
The elasticity of it, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Gotcha.
But for 90A, there's like no stretch, so you have to use different sizes.
Interesting. Well, yeah, there you go. I'll be hitting you up for sure, Bizo.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, what do you think? I think we're pretty close on this one. I think I've got one more screw here. And I think we're just about ready to get into some sounds tests here. Let me see if I missed anything here. Quantric's online right now, Bizo, or Raz. Raz just linked. Yeah, Quantric is online currently. So yeah, you can go annoy him about how Max needs the QKL, please. Go ahead, chat.
I'm sure he's sick of hearing about keyboards right now.
He's definitely sick of hearing me ask him for the QKL, because I join in his chat every time and I'm like, hey, Quantric. Every single time. So.
Do you remember when he had hair?
I do. I've known Quantric for probably 4 years now. And when I say known, like, I mean, I chat with him every now and then. We're not like besties or anything. But do you remember, I think Artemy had the meme. Do you remember when he was on Top Clack? And he had, and Brian or somebody asked him about his hair product. And he came back. And he came back with this, so the Bedhead branded product, it's like a pomade wax. He came back with this tub of like Bedhead branded product. Let me see if I can find a picture, because that's going to make it more funny. Here, hold on. Let me get these screws out of here so I don't lose those first. And then let me find a picture.
I know the Artemy meme where he put like Quantric on like Yu-Gi-Oh cards. If you remember that. And then
the feet pictures one. the Quantric feet pic is a long running meme as well. I'm always asking Quantric for feet pic. Quantric's got finger toes.
Oh yeah, he got long toes.
So let me look this up. And I laugh because, and I know exactly what it is, because I use the same product in my hair, but he came out with it. Oh, I can't find a good image of it with this is a pretty close to good image of it. So there's a pretty good image of it. That's what it looks like. And so Quantric came back with this tin on the Top Clack stream, and he's like, this is what I use, and he's like holding it up, and he's like, and Artemy made the meme, Texas man inspects recently harvested Bitcoin.
So that did you post it?
That was a good one. I have it. I have the actual hair product up on
it's
stream
on
right
your
now.
stream.
Yeah. So you can kind of see what it looks like here, and it's like a still of Quantric showing it off and like looking at the camera on Top Clag, and that's when Artemir, whoever it was, grabbed the still. I no longer have it. He's using the QKL right now. Of course he is. Tell him that's my keyboard. Yeah, did he ask? Is this Max asking for it? I always say QKO when. So anyways, Quantric's a funny guy. But yeah, so kind of cool, right? Making the Q open source. In the past, having recorded that YouTube video, I mean, yeah, kind of when it comes to prepping up for designers, I mean, yeah, he's kind of got that intro tutorial game all set up for everybody. Why am I only following you now? Question mark. What's good, Max and Bezo? MT Venge? Mount Venge? Just says, what's up, Bezo?
Hello.
Let's see here.
How you doing?
Bedhead reminds me of Supercuts, says Raz. Nice. Alrighty. Well, yeah. So what should we put on this? Bezo? What do you think? You get to
do you
pick.
still have the PPS caps?
Oh, I wish those were Zach's. Those
okay,
those turned out so good. Yeah, I do not.
Mhm.
I do not have those. I do have all sorts of beige and wob that we can put on it. I've got. Oh, you know what we could do? Do you want to do some PBT die subs? I've got the.
Oh yeah, do it.
I've got the Infinity Sanctuary Rebirth set.
Oh, put Sanctuary on. Yeah, that'd be sick.
Yeah,
Black
let's
and red.
do that. Black. Yeah, hold on, I can't hear you. I'm gonna go ahead and grab it. Normally I put that up to vote, but I'm feeling spicy tonight. I'm just gonna go ahead and veto everyone else. Bezo and I want to see some Sanctuary up in here, so we're doing it. Executive decision time, baby. Oh, with the gaff desk mat too? Alright, so chat, if you haven't seen this set, look at this box first of all. I've got it up on stream too, Bezo. Have you seen any Infinity sets since they started rolling out?
I have not gotten a chance to get one in hand in person yet, but I'm very interested to see how their die sub is.
They're really quite nice. They have really. I don't know if there's a difference between early or current, but they've really done a nice job with these. Yeah, here I'll show you the legend quality. Look at it's kind of a fun little font on this guy too. You can see the legend quality there on the alpha, and then yeah, it's a PBT. It's a pretty thick PBT, and so yeah, so it's fun.
Have you noticed any issues with Infinity sets at all?
You know what we need to do, chat? Because we're going to use the red. I haven't seen any warp on any of them that I've had. I have a very special alien that we're going to put on this. Oh, you know what I could also do? Do we want to do the Albuman? Do we want to do the Albuman on this one, chat? Or do you want to do the alien? What do you think, Bezo? Take a look on stream here.
I'm a fan of Albumin, so I'd say let's go with that.
We can do both. We can put the alien on as well.
Yes.
Where would I put the alien now? That's the only question. Yeah, we can put the alien here. There we go. If I had a split spacebar, then we would have the symmetrical set here with them on both. We'll see. We'll see if we keep the alien on. Yeah, I love the albumin.
I do like both of them. They both look nice.
Yeah, so we were lucky. I was actually able to give away an albumin on the giveaway stream we just did a week ago too. I love Frank and Lisa. They're so talented.
Mm-hmm.
So what artisans do you collect, Biza?
I just kind of collect what I think is cool.
Yeah, what's your favorite?
My favorite.
What's your favorite sculpt?
Don't put me on the spot like that, man.
I'm putting you on the spot.
The pressure.
You're in the hot seat.
That's it's like picking your favorite food, right?
Oh,
it's like
I
you
know.
can't.
I know.
What recent caps? So I like smaller makers, right? Like I don't remember the last time I got like ETF or like a gaff. I don't even own any gaff caps, but like smaller makers like Sodi caps. I like their stuff.
Oh, I love Sodi. Yeah. Have you seen the new Space Jams?
I have not.
So they took the Jams cap and they put a spacesuit on it.
Let me look it up.
It's so
Sodi
fun.
caps.
Yeah, it's so fun. I love Sodi caps. Raz, can you link
Oh,
Sodi
yeah,
caps
yeah,
Discord
I know.
to, or not? It's Discord, Instagram. Yeah, we love shilling for.
I'm just listing
artisans.
off like recent keycaps I've gotten. So Sodi caps, something I got kind of recently. Frumps keys is another one.
I've heard of Frumps keys. Yeah, what sculpt is he doing?
He makes the, I think it's called the helm. What do you call it? Man, I should know this.
I'm trying to picture it.
It's like it's pretty easy to find. Let me. Jeez, what is the name of it? I feel bad. I should know the name. But it's like kind of like it's like it has like a helmet and it has like a horn on it.
This guy calls
I just think
himself
it's like
a
super
fan.
simple. And I know, right? Yeah, it's called the helm. Dalrock's helm.
Oh wait, do I have an early prototype of it? Frump keys. Let me look here. Do I have an? That'd be funny if I ended up having an early prototype of it. No, I don't. Okay, I was gonna be nervous for a second there. Yeah, that one is cool. I haven't
I'll
seen
link
that
it
one.
and I'll link it in chat.
Yeah. So Raz just linked their Instagram. I haven't seen that one before. There we go.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Raz is one of my mods. He's got the quickness. Anything
Yeah, that
we
was very
shill,
fast.
he'll have an Instagram link for. Thank you, Raz.
Yeah, thank you, Raz.
Um,
But yeah, I do like my ETFs though. I remember Poison Summer 2018, 2017. What was the first Poison Summer? Do you remember what year that was?
Ooh, the first?
2017, right?
You got me there. Was it that late? I thought.
Yeah, I remember I joined. My Geek Hack join date was 2017, June 2017, and that was because of Poison
Summer.
That's what got me into Geek Hack.
Yep. I've got some OG Fugus. That's actually my only.
Nice.
That's my only ETF as of right now. Yeah. So here's my. Oh, actually, excuse me. I have a Fug Thulu as well. But yeah, there's my two Fugus, and I have the all black Fugu or Fug Thulu. So yeah. Yeah, those OG.
I'm a sucker for the single shot Fugus. I think they're so clean.
Yeah, they're fun for sure, for sure. So in our typical fashion, we'll grab our arrow keys here for the bottom Sagan row. My space bar seems a little sluggish. I might do I'm a big fan of putting a 90-gram spring in my spacebar Bizo, which I did not do admittedly tonight. I completely forgot. And so I'm probably going to go back and replace this switch out on the spacebar with a 90-gram eventually. But for right now, we'll be good. It's good enough. Let me see here. Here's my step. Yeah, these keycaps are absurd though.
Yeah, if you like them, then that's
Yeah.
good to hear coming from you. So I might look
the
into
Infinity.
getting a set.
Yep. I've had no QC issues with the 3 sets that I've seen in person, and yeah, they're doing DSA as well. The DSA Magic Girl is the first Infinity DSA set. DSA is not for me, and admittedly, the DSA Infinity set was a little bit thinner in the actual plastic than I'd like to see. Marginally thinner. I know DSA is normally a thinner keycap, but it was just marginally thinner than I would have liked to see. But the legend quality on it, again, like their cherry profile keycaps, impeccable. Really, really nice. Really, really nice.
That's good to hear. I was afraid because it's reverse dye sub, right? Because you can't.
Yeah.
So you can't print like darker color or lighter colors on dark backgrounds unless reverse dye sub. And I was afraid of reverse dye sub because I know I haven't seen like that many clear. I've seen bad reverse dye subs, so that's why I was scared at first. So
I mean, look at these. Yeah, look at these legends. They're crispy, and of course, this is a crazy font too.
Oh yeah, the Sanctuary font is so sick.
Yeah, I mean they are crispy.
Cool. I'll look into whatever Infinity sets come next. So I'm sure one will come up soon.
Yeah, consider it. They're cool. They are cool. Yeah. Go buy them now. You'll never get a hard sell from me. But yeah, if that's up your alley, consider it. They're pretty cool. And look at this keyboard right now, Bizo.
Man, that's sick.
Look at that.
Oh, something about black and red. This can't go wrong.
Ooh. Yeah, I like that. I like that right there. I'm so glad we just decided to do Sanctuary and not even ask what people think. There it is, chat. All right. Let me switch over here to this one. Oh, and I'm being told to hydrate. Thanks, Jeremy.
I should do that too.
Since I added that to my chat, it's been the most incredible thing ever. And I've thought all throughout the day, every time people tell me to hydrate, I always think, man, I need to have this in my life just like 24/7. Somebody telling me to hydrate. I always forget to drink water. All right, chat, here we are. Your build of the night. Look at that.
Very nice. I'm glad the build is like the little Z build is just going so well because with my designs I'm always afraid something's gonna go wrong. That's why I was nervous for K. It's like, oh, maybe I forgot to do one thing, maybe I forgot to do this, like, but just I'm always nervous, but like,
yeah,
it's so I'm always happy to hear like people have successful builds and like people love it, so it's always nice to see that.
I mean, gasket mount build on a 60 with screw-in stabilizers. Yeah, you can't beat that. Let's go. All right, so take a look, chat. Are you ready for this? The one thing you're missing so far with this keyboard is just the full gravity of this right here. Almost 8 pounds. 7 pounds, 9.3 ounces.
It's so close to 8 pounds, yeah.
That's absurd. Here you go. I'm just so marginally pushing on it to get 8. That is absurd. Here, look. My hardware box, way more than you need. 8.6, or 8 pounds, 6 ounces. Here. One tub of lube adds on about 0.2 ounces. Oh no, you know what? Yeah, we can do that. 5 milliliter tube. Let's see, some of these might be empty too. That's unfortunate. This isn't gonna be the greatest. This isn't gonna be the greatest use case. Because I think some of these are empty. Yeah, whatever. I was trying to do something cute. How many 5 milliliter vials of lube do we need to get 8 pounds? Nobody cares in chat. The point is, it's heavy, and chat understands that. Fooburger says, pass me your number. I'll call you every 30 minutes to remind you to hydrate. Do I need to put you on the payroll to do that? That's a lot of telephone calls. Alright, let's see what it sounds like.
Yeah. Did you put
Alright.
bump-ons on the bottom case?
Not yet. Not yet. I love the look of it without them. But yes,
Yeah,
we have the bump-ons right here. The bump-ons are these. Zach, did you get these or did Zach? Look at those bump-ons.
I think Zach provided the bump-ons. Yeah, I didn't give any bump-ons.
Yeah, so these things are crazy. Zach went nuts with it. Zach got like the hardware,
Yeah.
like the little hardware. This is like Hex hardware as well, which I thought was a lot more expensive. He was like, nah, those are actually pretty cheap. But yeah, they're Hex screws for the tray Mount 60, which are awesome because I always feel like I'm about to strip screws whenever I'm screwing in a tray mount keyboard.
Yeah.
Actually, first things first. All right, I'm gonna bring over this. I'm gonna mute my music, Bizo, and I'm gonna mute that there. All right, let's see if you can hear this. All right, here we go. That thing's got some pop to it. You're only going to be able to hear it on Stream Bizo because my Discord is going to, you know how it does. It's going to turn the keyboard sound off. That thing is poppy. Oh, I was muted. Yeah. Those silks are so cool. Listen to that numro. Like that's gonna be even louder with ABS because we're using a pretty thick PBT right now too. Like this is actually gonna make it thockier, these keycaps that we've put on. That's wild. The silks are good. Yeah. Milk said he was really excited to hear these. Yeah, these silks are really good. They're very smooth. All right, let me go over here. We'll give Chad a monkey type test. How did I have? Boom, 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 boom. There we go. Need to resize Windows. There we are. Okay. Would you consider putting tactiles since it's a stiff plate? Raz, I normally like tactiles on a really soft plate. I mean, you can get away with putting anything anywhere, but I would probably use linears for this guy. Ooh, pretty good first attempt too. 112. I think we can hit 120, Bizo. Maybe not 120. That sounds pretty good though. Ooh, yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah, let me restore some order here. Get the music going again. And yeah, chat, we're gonna do a couple of closing thoughts here on this build. If you have any more questions for Mr. Bizorami, go ahead and at me real quick. There we go. Oh, you know what, Bizo? They couldn't hear you for the last couple of seconds because I had muted my DAC instead of muting just my music. Rip. That's my bad.
Oh, that's fine. I didn't hear anything. I didn't say anything anyway.
All right, chat. So yeah, I think it sounds great. The NovelKey Silks, this is my first experience with those. I really like the sounds of them. It's not that super deep, thocky sound, but you heard it. Formulate your own opinions. And if you like what you heard, consider some NovelKey creams or NovelKey Silks. Pretty smooth. I would still recommend lubing them. Stock, they still suffer from a little bit of ping on them. And just the consistency of the factory lube is not going to be perfect. You're never going to get a perfect factory lube switch. So
yeah, I never trust factory lube switches.
Yeah,
supposedly lubed.
Right. Yeah. So, but these are the ones. So Bizo, these are the ones that are lubed, but then Milk then just took them apart and added more.
Very nice.
Yep. Yeah, I think they turned out great.
Yeah, that was great.
So Foodburger says that bezel width is the perfect splash zone for me. Yeah, it's a good size bezel. It is pretty nice, symmetrical on all four sides. It's a pretty clean setup for sure.
10 millimeters in width for the bezels.
Okay.
Definitely on the thicker side for sure.
It is. Yeah, it is. Here's the ogre for comparison on the bezels. And you can see it's just marginally thinner because it's so much thinner on the sides. A little bit shorter on the top and bottom too with the ogre. Layout, or in terms of angle, these look to be about the same. The ogre might be just a little bit shorter, but not much. Very marginal. Let's see here. Does anyone else ask any questions? I think we're good. Well, Bizo,
great.
Thank you for hanging out with me. Any last minute shout outs before we find somebody to raid tonight?
I think I'm good on my end. Yeah, thanks for inviting me. This was fun.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was a great time. Yeah, Raz, go ahead and throw Bizo's Instagram back in here. Good luck finding which one's which.
Yeah. Good luck finding the right one. Even I don't know.
But yeah, chat, go ahead and follow Bizo. Make sure you consider the K round 2. Is that still in group buy? I can't remember. Did it just end?
I think it just ended, or he might have extended it. I don't know.
If it's still running, consider the K round 2. And then yeah, in the meantime though, thanks so much, Bizo. It was a pleasure hanging out with you.
Yeah, thank you. You as well.
Let me go ahead. Let's raid. Who's live right now? Ooh, do you want to raid Dr. Uru? Lulz is live right now too.
Ooh.
Do you guys want to raid Dr. Uru though? I like leveling.
I love Uru.
I like leveling the playing field a little bit. This will bring Dr. Uru up to that 100 viewer mark. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All
right, guys. Thanks.
Thanks, Bizo. Yep, I'm gonna go ahead and let you go. And yeah, hold on. Well, actually, hold on one second. I'll say goodbye to you here in just a minute. Let me go ahead and just raid Dr. Uru, and then we'll go offline, if you don't mind.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Wonder what he's up to tonight. Dr. Uru. There we go. Dr. Uru.
Is he making the keyboard stuff?
I would assume.
Wait, I'm not following him, huh?
Oh, for shame.
Yeah, I thought I was. Huh?
There we go. I just started the raid. We'll give that 2 seconds to cook in here. And yeah, chat, thank you again so much for hanging out with us tonight. We are live again, maybe this weekend. I have a couple personal builds that I need to do. Maybe chat, maybe we'll tune up this. Have you seen this one, Visa? I got the professional, the OG one.
Which one?
The HHKB Professional with a May 2005 date on this thing. I need to tune this thing up.
Yeah, I heard old Topper domes are like super sick.
Oh yeah. So I'm gonna give that a try. Maybe we'll tune that up here in the next night or two. Thanks everybody. We'll see y'all next time.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, we've rated Dr. Uru, and I